Hello, everybody. How are you on this fine Saturday? We have here Prime Video finally greenlights Good Omens Season 3 after Neil Gaiman's scandal. Now, if you have been living under a rock for a good lord, almost the past year, you would not know that Mr. Gaiman has been accused of some very salacious things. And it seems that the forces of the left are keeping it under wraps because, well, it seems that it seems that he makes money, but I think it's more that he says the right stuff. This is from Fandom Pulse. That's Mr. John Delarose's Substack. Go to it. Mr. Delarose does fight the good fight. I may not agree with everything he does. Go to his channel. His channel is kind of fun. However, it is more of an advertisement for his writing projects. He, however, admits it, but so that puts him with thumbs up for me. So, taking a look at this, Good Omens Season 3 was thought to be canceled, but the fantasy TV show is returning to Prime Video with Neil Gaiman taking a back seat. And we will find out that that is pretty much what happens when allegations like this came out. Even the massive allegations against Neil Gaiman couldn't keep Amazon Prime Video's Good Omens completely off the air. After much speculation, the streaming company will renew the fantasy TV show, but with a caveat. The Sandman and Good Omens creator Neil Gaiman has been under scrutiny over the past few months because of alleged sexual abuse, which has been brought forward by 6 different women, 4 of which come from the Tortoise podcast, an investigative journalism outfit known for its in-depth reporting. The abuses ranged from Gaiman's employees to fans of his work who felt he used his status in the industry to manipulate them into acts that they did not want to do. Tell me something that I would not know already. And not necessarily Mr. Gaiman. I mean, this is rife within the entertainment industry and all facets of the entertainment industry. The most harrowing accounts of women come from the former babysitter and nanny, who says that within hours of meeting Gaiman, she was asked as an employee of the family to come into a bathtub with the Sandman creator and do degrading acts. Gaiman stated he was only in the tub coddling with her. This, seriously, I mean, that I was only coddling with her, yeah. The second employee involves the wife of a landscaper on his New York estate who claims Gaiman made her perform sex acts in exchange for not getting evicted from her home. That is just the nicest guy. Gaiman has been completely absent from public appearances, having canceled one of his speaking sessions since these allegations took place. He's also been notably silent on his social media platforms with no posts since the allegations began. That's never a good sign. Earlier this year, Prime Video announced the production of Good Omens Season 3 would be halted because of the scandals. Disney also halted production on a film adaptation of the Graveyard Book. Netflix, meanwhile, canceled his Detective Dad property, while The Sandman has remained unaffected, reportedly in production for Season 2. Nobody cares. However, Deadline reported that Good Omens is back on the table with some drastic changes. One final episode will be filmed to wrap up storyline left over from Season 2. This episode will be extended to a 90-minute program. Now, Gaiman is stepping back from his role to allow the production to continue without his sexual misconduct allegations affecting Good Omens. Though the bulk of his work would have already been done, Deadline said he's taking the back seat, but the specifics of his involvement are unclear, implying that he will be getting paid for Good Omens regardless. Now, let's be upfront with this. If this guy were anywhere near center or right of it, he would have been buried immediately. Um, and I honestly, there are a couple. I don't think that either of the properties or either of the things that have been developed from his properties are so popular that they would have to be continued. Things would have to have gone on for a great clip. I mean, most of the production should probably have been wrapped up for Sandman Season 2 for them to go on with this. I mean, as I said, if he were anywhere near right-leaning, this would be buried completely and he would be gone. And this has happened before. And this is actually the direction of what I wanted to talk about today. It doesn't make a difference who you are or what you do, as long as you say the right thing. And this gentleman definitely says the right thing almost all through the Me Too movement, or the beginnings of the Me Too movement. He was right there front and center talking about believe all women and protect all women while he was doing this. And this is rampant within the left. This hypocrisy is something that we're seeing come out more and more ever since the Harvey Weinstein thing. And it's one of those things that's got to stop. There is a two-tier kind of system going on here within the entertainment industry and within the law. that people, because of their political leanings, will face prosecution while other people will not. This has happened so much. Hillary Clinton, we can go on with that. Bill Clinton, I'll get into that in a little bit. This is rife through the left, and this is one of the things that I believe really needs to change, because it doesn't make a difference what your political leanings are. If you're accused of things like this, you should have to take not necessarily a backseat. You should be gone. Okay, and then this is some heavy stuff, man. This is not the only place where this happens. Here we have an article from MeganKelly.com. CNN panel hypocritically melts down after guest references abuse allegations against Doug Emhoff. Doug Emhoff, of course, is the husband of Vice President and presidential nominee Kamala Harris. Now, these came out a few months ago and have been more or less sat on by the mass media. You're not going to hear much about this kind of stuff. And that is because Mr. Emhoff says the right things. Okay, he backs the right people, and he's in the right orbit. And of course, nothing like this is going to come out. And I'm not going to say that in the past this didn't happen with the right as well. It did. But again, when it happens on the right, it's people that we believe, that we call in the establishment. All right. So this, yeah, and those people get protected too. George W. Bush's wife, whose first name I can't come to right now, actually killed somebody. She actually killed somebody in a car accident driving recklessly. Did you hear about that? No. Okay, it's the same type of deal thing. It really is. And so you have this guy who is basically getting away with things that would have completely and utterly buried another human being. This is where was this? Okay, this is on Kelly's thing, but he's basically accused of slapping his ex-girlfriend in 2012 because she was supposedly flirting with somebody else. Yeah, I've had that done with me. I didn't have that reaction. I just left. Be a guy. That's being a man. Okay, this is here for all the guys out there. This is the biggest power you have as a man. Okay, you can walk away. All right, that's it. Just get in your head. You can walk away. All right, it's the greatest power as men that we absolutely and utterly have. All right, the best thing about us is that we pick and choose when we walk away, and that's what it is. That's taking responsibility. That's a completely different thing, but they do go hand in hand. Anyway, and as far as taking responsibility is concerned, hey, I brought this up beforehand. Look who's been on the snuff for Kamala Harris, or former President Bill Clinton, who has, been accused of many, many different things, going all the way back to a rape allegation in Oxford, for all places. Back when he was ducking the draft and protesting his own country in another country. I dumped an entire football team because of stuff like that. Anyway, so why is alleged predator Bill Clinton still welcome in the Democratic Party? Because he's in the Democratic Party. Because he says the right things. Because he proposes the right things. Because he backs the right fights. Okay, Bill Clinton came out for a certain type of late-term abortion, which is basically murdering a child under circumstances that were so blown out of proportion. Of course, everybody's going to think, oh, God, you have to do something like that. And it wasn't. Okay, but because he came out with things like this, you have women in the Democratic Party that will fight and die for him with all the allegations that had been thrown at him. And we're not, there are murder allegations against Bill Clinton. Okay, seriously, go back to his Arkansas days and look some of that stuff up. It'll curl your hair. But this guy is still high up in the Democratic Party. He's one of the power players. There's a lot of factions within the Democratic Party vying for control right now, and the Clinton wing is one of them. So this is pretty big right now because they're fairly certain if Kamala Harris gets in, they're going to be able to worm themselves back into power. So again, you have allegations like this against Bill Clinton, Doug Emhoff, okay, Neil Gaiman. Why? Not because they make money, but because they are Democrats, because they say the right thing, because they champion the right programs, okay, because they come out and they speak on the right things. The left does not care about what they do personally. They just don't, all right? And if you're not on the left, then of course we have things like this.
The second he was in front of me, he pulled me into him, and his hands were just on me and didn't come off.
Former Sports Illustrated model Stacey Williams says that Donald Trump groped her more than 30 years ago in Trump Tower.
Okay, 30-year-old allegations. These are 30-year-old allegations, all right? And from what she says, she went with Mr. Epstein from his brownstone in New York, and he didn't even live in that brownstone in 93. He didn't live in that brownstone until 96 or 97. Okay, so that's basically right there. That's one thing that should put something in your mind. Okay, maybe this, okay, if she got certain things mixed up, maybe she got other things mixed up. But things like that definitely put a negative in your mind as far as believability. Okay, and I'm sorry, there are certain times, okay, where you have to take a look at an allegation before you can go totally to the lynch mob. And that's pretty much what happens. But this is about Trump. So these allegations that have pretty much been destroyed within 24 hours are first and foremost in the public eye, because the news media will do absolutely nothing but promote this and promote this for the next 10 to 11 days until the election time. Okay, this is their October surprise. This is one of them. Okay, and it's falling flat because nobody buys this stuff anymore. Okay, this is 30 years old. If she had a problem with this, if this was so horrible, why didn't she come out in 2015? Where was she in 2015? Hell, where was she in 2019, for crying out loud? Okay, right now the Democrats are in trouble, and they know it, and they sniff it out. But here it is. The left is championing people like Neil Gaiman, Doug Emhoff, and Bill Clinton, who have done some of the worst things, and there are women actually coming out here and saying it, and there are actually other people that can say, yes, this actually did happen. We saw the after effects from some of these women. It does happen. So yeah, this is the new left, guys. Okay, it doesn't make a difference who you are or what you are. As long as you say and do the right thing, you will be protected. So thank you much, everybody. Sorry to come here in such a downer, but this is one of those things that really gets on my goat. Guys, tell me in the comment section, do you believe the same thing? Do you believe that there's a tier system between the left and the right, between the rich and the poor? Tell me about it. Let me see what you say. Like, share, subscribe, guys. This helps me get the word out. This really, and honestly, this is one of those things that we need. Third-party people coming out and talking about stuff that the news media won't normally touch. All right? Thank you all very much, guys. Later.